as you know, because of the pandemic, things are being canceled and travel is really difficult. I did have some clients, a couple who were really bound and determined that they were going to sail this fall, both in September, here in just about a week, and again in December. Um, just they just were bound and determined that they were going to do it, and I really didn't recommend it because I didn't think that they would probably have the best time having to fill out all the forms and make sure they had their mask and be limited in the activities they could do on the ship, but they wanted to go, and so we set it up. And sure enough, now that we are about a week from sailing on the September cruise, they've gotten scared, and I understand why they're scared. I mean, that's fine. I'm not mad about at that for them, except that I went to an awful lot of work to set that up. And now if they cancel it, then what's going to happen is I'm going to spend another couple of hours undoing all that work. And also, I will not get paid from the cruise line for that. So the income for all those hours of work will be the big goose eggs. So I decided that I would try to think about how can I turn this into something that is of good benefit to them and serves their need to cancel right now, but also serves their desire to take this trip and to cruise, even if it's later on than when they wanted to go. And that would also benefit my business, my travel changes life business. So instead of just saying, okay, I understand that you want to cancel and I'll cancel and you'll have to take a penalty because you're canceling a cruise a week before it sails, I decided to go in and look for similar cruises that are going to take place with that same cruise line, but not until a whole year from now, which gives them a whole year to see if the pandemic will settle. And maybe it will, or maybe it won't. I know that this time a year ago, we thought we'd be out of the woodwork, and instead we're right back into it. But I did find something that was not exactly the same, but it was very similar. And then in poking around and looking at what might be options that I thought that they would enjoy to do, I actually found that there was another cruise back to back with the first cruise that I thought that they also might like. It were also places that they hadn't been. And, the big deal for me now is to really look at value for travelers because they're going to pay money to fly over to Europe to take this cruise. What if they could do a back to back that would actually double the income to me from the cruise line who pays me to help them book these cruises, right? Or and it would cost the travelers less because they want to go both places, but they really don't like flying and they don't like having to pay twice to go to Europe. So I approached them with the idea of waiting until next year when we thought things would be much safer for them to travel and doing the cruise, but putting it together with the follow on cruise and doing two cruises with one price of flying over there and back and just staying a little longer. So it meant that they would be gone about 2 weeks instead of about a week. And honestly, from my standpoint, it isn't worth it to fly all the way to Europe for a week, honestly. But anyway, they bought it. And so I've still got to do the work of canceling the one and getting them rescheduled. So it's not all in place yet. But I just wanted to point out to you that if you are thinking creatively about what you can do when things are starting to go south, then you can really sometimes come up with a better solution for them that serves them. I mean, they really do want to make these trips, and it keeps them from having to fly to Europe twice. And as everybody knows, even if you're in first class flying it on a long haul flight, is really not that much fun anymore for anybody, right? Um, the other part of that story is that the other cruise that they were going to take in December, they were willing to go on it, but the cruise line canceled the cruise. They just feel like they don't have enough, they can't ensure the safety of the passengers. It was going to be a Panama Canal transit, and they felt like they were afraid of the health issues that might be in the ports along the way, and they decided to can the cruise, to cancel it, meaning that they are willing to, of course, refund the travelers money. They also would be willing to put them on a different cruise next year if the people wanted to transfer over. In this case, though, I thought about that a little while, and they were really discouraged that this had been canceled and kind of just said flat out, I want my money back. And that makes sense. That's fine. Happy to do that for them. They did, the cruise line did offer three alternative cruises, and they are exactly what these people wanted to do. So I at least wanted them to know about it in case they changed their mind. But I decided that the better strategy would be once they say to me, yeah, for sure, we don't want the replacement cruises, we want a refund, I'm going to go ahead and get that money back for them and get it back into their bank account. And then I am going to sell them on a cruise that does the same thing on a much better ship that is much more luxurious and that I know, knowing these people, they will enjoy a lot more. So the other option you can look at when something isn't working for one of your customers or your clients is to think about, is there something that you can move them to that is a higher status product or a higher status service, and it might actually suit them better. These people are intellectual, they're well traveled, they like to learn new things, and they like to see new places. And in this case, I know that there is another small, more luxurious ship that I can put them on next year, and they will actually have people from the Smithsonian on board to give them talks about what they're seeing as they pass through the canal and as they pass through the ports from LA all the way around to Miami. They're going to do a full transit of the canal. So, in this way, I think it will benefit them because they will enjoy it more. It will benefit my business because it is a higher price product, and therefore it will be more commission to me from the ship, from the cruise line. So that's two things you can think about: finding something that is more product or more service, and then switching something to a higher level of product or service when your sales aren't working. Try that, because sometimes people, if you know that customer or that client really wants what you have to offer, but they're saying no, try presenting something else in a slightly different way and see where you get. So that's it for today. I just wanted to pop in here real quick and talk to you guys about that. I hope that everyone is doing well and staying safe, and talk to you later. Bye bye.